Hey, Algebra 2, this is Mr. Wilkes. We're going to be working with I again. And if you guys remember, I is the square root of -1. And we also talked a little bit about I squared. I squared is -1. And that was from first semester. So we're going to go all the way down to I to the 8th power today. Okay, so let's start off with I to the 3rd power. I'm going to break that into two parts, I squared and I. And we just up top did I squared, and I is just going to be I all by itself. So it ends up being -I. Okay, that's for I to the 3rd power. I to the 4th power, we could break that into two parts again. I to the 3rd I. We just did up top I to the 3rd. And I's, again, just I. So that is going to be -I squared. And again, we decided that I squared is going to be -1. So this ends up being +1. And so let's just follow the pattern here as we keep going, guys. We're going to break each one into two parts, okay? And we're always going to use the previous answer to help us move forward. Okay, if you guys look closely, we end up getting the same answers. If we were going to summarize it off to the right side here, you're going to see a repetition. Okay. Excuse me, guys, on that first one should have been just I. Off to the right, we're going to summarize what we just found. Okay. And you guys might notice that there's this repetition. So it says, what is going to continue to happen if we did x to the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th? So as you guys might have guessed, you're going to get the same pattern. Okay. So it says, what is the order of the pattern? So what they're talking about is what we just wrote down. The order is always going to be this same order. Okay. All we need to know is what multiple of 4 are we dealing with? So it says, what is the answer to every problem that has a multiple of 4? So as you notice, like I to the 8th is 1. I to the 4th is 1. I to the 12th ended up being 1. So anytime you get a multiple of 4, you know the answer is 1. And we're going to use this to our advantage in the problems down below. And we'll do that by, the first one we'll do it kind of a long way. I just want to kind of show you guys the long way to do this, and then we'll shorten it pretty quickly here. So 42 right there. Is 42 a multiple of 4? Okay, not quite. It goes in 10 times with a remainder of 2. And if you guys were going to write this out 10 times, which I'm just going to do this once just to kind of show you something. Okay, so imagine that there is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10 of those. Okay, and at the very end would be an I squared. We already know that anything I to the fourth is 1. So these all essentially are 1. It's going to end up being 1 times I squared, which is just I squared. And we know that I squared is -1. So we reduce I to the 42nd power all the way down to -1. Okay, just by knowing how many multiples we have, or how many times 4 goes in. So let's try 35. 35 divided by 4 goes in 8 times, and the remainder would be 3. Okay. So you would end up having I to the fourth 8 times. At the very end, you would have I to the third power, the third coming from the remainder right there. Okay, and we already decided up top that I to the third is -I. One more time here. Let's go 89 divided by 4. It goes in 22 times with a remainder of 1. So again, guys, we're not going to write I to the fourth 22 times, right? We're not going to do that. But what we are going to do at the very end, we're going to have an I to the first power, which just reduces to I. So it's just a quick, easy way to reduce any power on an I. So we're going to do the same thing with these ones. We'll multiply these all together first. So 5 times 2 times -3. Okay, and then I to the 5 plus 3 plus 1 is 9. Okay, and then we've got to reduce I to the 9th power. So let's do the same thing we did just previously. Let's figure out what the remainder is. 4 goes in twice with a remainder of 1. So that means the power is a 1 power. Okay, similar problem. Multiply everything together. 24I to the 14th power. And then figuring out 14, that is going to be 3 with a remainder of 2. Now we know what the power of I is. And I squared, we've decided, is -1. The final answer is -24. One more. And 24 is a multiple of 4. There is no remainder. So we like that one because that one's just going to be, you could think of it as I to the 0 power if you want, or 4th power, any multiple of 4. Essentially, guys, it's just going to be times 1. So that's just -8.